down centre-half back or half-back and was just such a key part of Saints' defence for such a long period of time. To me, he is one of those really important NTFL players, and that really shows what clubs need. He's the sort of player that a club builds a defence, builds a team around.
Yeah, and you mentioned Luke Stapleton, and the other thing is he's now coaching as well. So
there you go.
You know, we've retained. You know, we like to retain good people, whether it's playing or administrating or getting into coaching. But you're absolutely right. You know, it's and the theory, I guess, the philosophy around the State Academy is that we really want to, you know, focus on producing good people and better players. If you get, you know, all your off-field stuff all sorted out and your life's on track, well, then you tend to find that the footy can try and take care of itself. But absolutely, that's our focus there. We want good people, and good people make better footballers.
Well, just what Thomas Motlop said, that, you know, for him personally, what he felt that in terms of the standard, maybe over the last couple of seasons, but, you know, when it's on, it's on. So I think if we're looking at it now and, you know, building towards it, and there are things in place to either improve it or keep it where it is, I'm sure that it's only going to get better. And I think you only have to look at the crop of coaches we have at the moment, how many debutant seasons we have. Shannon Motlop's out there, former AFL player, you know, at the helm of Wanderers. You can go through all the lists. Really, Shannon Rusker, I think, he's about 8 or 9 years, is the oldest coach out there.
He's the veteran now.
So,
he's the veteran.
And you know, it's still not quite 40. So you have to just look at, I think the coaching crops too is a really good indication of what we can see. You know, Anthony Valagio, as you mentioned about St Mary's, and a player like him now coaching, and his brother's involved, and he's going to bring a lot of the former players back. It
actually keeps people involved, which is a real positive. And you marry those together, and you look at Wanderers, you look at Shannon Motlop. One of the things, in some respects, and it's maybe easy to say from an air-conditioned commentary box, but who cares in some respects if they've lost 9 games in a row in a rebuilding year? As Brenton was mentioning a moment ago, look at some of the young talent that they have got coming through, the Eagles. I think they've been one of the teams that I've actually really looked forward to watching this year, just to see how they are going about that rebuilding phase. And these young players, these talented players that are coming through, just to see how much growth they've demonstrated across the course of this season. To me, that stands Wanderers in such good stead. And look, they may lose 1 or 2, such as a Joel Jeffrey, to the draft, but to me, that is, again, that's not a negative. That's a huge tick for the Wanderers Footy Club. That's a huge tick to their coaching staff, and not just Shannon, but across the years as they've brought those players through.
What I can tell you too that's just happened out in the middle of the Marara Oval is the coin toss has been done and won by the Crocs, and they've decided to kick towards the airport end. Slight breeze going across the field at the moment. If there was any advantage to the end that they've kicked, maybe 1 or 2 goals in it, but we'll keep you across that. And a nice moment as well. Will Farrell was out in the middle with Duffy, both celebrating milestones. I say celebrating, we missed Will Farrell last week, so we're celebrating it tonight. And Braden McLean was there for the Wanderers side, as both teams now just getting into a huddle. The siren going in the background there as we are moments away for this round 16 clash to get underway. Umpires out in control with will be Andrew Pites, Jamison Galbraith and Thomas Mannering will be our men in charge for this round 16 clash. The final game for round 16 as well last night, Darwin 71 defeated Magpies 43. Nightcliff 100 came from behind to beat Tiwi Bombers 85. St Mary's have had a 28-point win against Waratah at Gardens Oval. And tonight's match, it is a very desperate Wanderers side. Desperate for a win, hasn't happened since round 16. And Southern Districts, who now just putting their arms all together, are looking to try and get a couple of wins as they head into the final series. Their spot in the 5 has been decided after Waratah lost today. So it doesn't matter what happens in their final 3 games, but I'm sure they will want them wins. Quick tip, Brenton Toy, who's going to win and why? Yeah,
I'm going to go with Districts, and look, I think Wanderers will put up a fight, but Districts should win quite easily. Look through their side, plenty of experience, and I reckon a little bit of fire in the belly as well.
All right, well, to get us all underway, Dominic McCormack, as the lights are in full effect here, local time, it is 7 o'clock. We hope you enjoy the match. Coming up, it's Crocodiles up against the Eagles.
Players just taking their time here, getting into position. I tend to agree with Brenton, I must say. I think the Crocs tonight, and one really, really important inclusion for the Crocodiles, and that is Ed Barlow, number 20. He has not been there for some time. In fact, he hasn't been there since pre-Christmas. They haven't won since Christmas. Let's see what the difference is. Big fellas taking their place there. Sebastian Priest looks like he may be in the ruck contest on behalf of the Wanderers team. It's a good player, Sebastian Priest. Makes a difference in the middle when he lines up for them. Richard Tambling. Got the red boots on to make sure that we notice him. He's got the beard happening too, which I find Richard Tambling very unusual to see him with the beard. There he is, number 2. Such an experienced player. Umpire holds the ball aloft. Joshua Innes in the ruck contest for the Crocodiles. Sebastian Priest got a fingernail to that one. Has a second crack at it. Can't get it out of the middle. Southern Districts with ball in hand. Michael Barlow it is. Gets a handball away. Tambling gets another one out wide. Rory O'Brien back into the middle. Goes to Josiah Farrer. Lovely little chip. Goes to Barlow. Can't handle it half forward. Charging through there is Dylan McLaughlin for Southern Districts. Wheels onto the right boot. Kicks long. Looking for Will Farrer. Charging through was Jeff Garlett. Couldn't get a hand to it. Taken out the back by Tyrell Louis. Hands off to McLean. He goes for a run through the back pocket. Beautiful play. And out wide, Dre Thompson. Can't miss him with the hair and the flashing orange boots.
Thompson goes out down the outer wing, and that's going to be chopped off by Southern District. So a poor kick in the end. There was about 10 players around on that outer wing. Comes back in the direction of Dre Thompson. Ed Barlow dropped the ball he should have taken. Picked up, and that is Matthew Motlop. He's gone down, and again, they're on that outer wing. Not finding free players at the moment. Ball's in the hands of Southern Districts. They're now in their defensive 50, but they've gone all the way back to come across to the commentary wing. Takes a good Mark Smith. He goes for a run. Ball down towards and over the head of O'Brien. And the mark taken by Braden McLean, the captain. He goes inboard to Brenton Motlop. They're now in their defensive 50. That's a wayward kick. That's been picked up by Farrer. Goes into the left forward pocket and unchecked Garlett. Kicked 3 goals last week, and that has been some sloppy play, Brenton.
Yeah, just not a great decision there by Brenton Motlop, and execution probably wasn't there either. And easily enough there for the Districts players to roll up and chop it off, and we see Jeffy Garlett having a shot. Clever player.
Left forward pocket. 45-degree angle, comes in off 3 steps, and he's kicked it and he likes it. High fives from those around him, and it's taken 2 minutes, and Southern Districts are on the board first, and that's through Jeff Garlett.
Yeah, just have a look here. Braden McLean, he's had a few easy possessions there, just switches inboard to Brenton Motlop, and here we look at the switch kick, and good effort there. It's Josiah Farrer with the intercept mark. Willie Farrer's there looking for a handball, but just smart use into Jeffy Garlett and all that AFL experience. Carlton and the Melbourne Demons slotted an easy goal through for their first.
He kicked 3 last week. He could have had a few more, couldn't he, Don?
Had a few sparks. Hasn't really dominated a game yet, Jeff Garlett. Could be building towards it. Back in the middle now, again, Innes to go up against Priest. Both leap high. Priest again, I think, got the hand to it. Wanderers have pushed it forward. O'Brien takes it. High kick from Southern Districts. No mark taken. Rory O'Brien at the fall of the footy. Couldn't handle it. Comes back now to Farrer. Again to O'Brien. So Josiah Farrer in the action. Nice little kick from O'Brien. Finds McLaughlin off to Tambling. Kick out in front again of Jeff Garlett. No good, and he apologises to him straight away. The ball out of bounds. 40 around. Left forward pocket. Southern Districts again in attack.
Yeah, just going forward again, and maybe Richie Tambling, he sort of ran around and received where he was meant to kick it on his left, and probably just ran to the wrong side. If he come the other side, would open up the face of goal, but yeah, they're out in the pocket.
Josh Innes in the ruck contest. It's like Bo O'Connell
in
the contest there with him. The ruck rover. Oh, chain of hands here from Southern Districts. The crack on goal. That's a beautiful kick. Don't tell me that's a goal from the pocket. It is. That's a sensational goal. So from the left forward pocket on the left foot, if you don't mind, just trying to pick up who that player was then who kicked that. May have been Thomas Holman. Just let's pick it out on the replay here. Bo O'Connell in the ruck contest got himself in front. Ball off. Nice little hands. Steady. And then from that left forward pocket, and the player there, Jaden Clark. What a kick from the forward pocket, Brenton.
Yeah, good kick on his left. Wasn't the greatest purchase on it, but yeah, just went straight enough. That's all he needed.
Definitely Jaden Clark kicking that goal.
So back in the middle, Southern Districts 2 quick back-to-back goals. Ball down on the ground after it won by Innes. No one able to cleanly pick it up. Innes gets a handball out. Now Richard Tambling can clear it from the middle on the left. He goes over to the outer side, finds Michael Barlow. He goes forward at a diving mark, dropped in the end by Ed Barlow. And now there is a Wanderers player wrapped up, and they are not going to get rid of that. Couple of players around the ball. The umpire says, I'll have a ball up. 60 metres on the left from the Southern District's goal. Ball tossed up quickly, one down, quick kick out from Wanderers back in the middle of the park. It's going to be kicked forward outside of the centre square, and it's going to be Southern Districts defensively. And that's an ugly handball away. Lucky not to be caught there from Holman. And it's going to be chopped off by the Eagles. In front of the commentary wing, in the middle, O'Connell goes down inside the forward 50 for Wanderers. Pack couldn't pick it up. Ball still down on the ground, picked up by Southern Districts Lake. Brody Lake gets a handball back, gets it and goes across. This is dangerous territory. 3 Crocodiles, but closing in is Dre Thompson. Dre Thompson harassing the defenders, but they get a couple of passages of handballs. Nice little chip out for Southern Districts. Goes over the head of Ed Barlow. Thomas Motlop picks it up. He whirls around, tries to get the lead of a teammate, but he's kicked it out on the full on the outer wing.
Ball now brought back into play by Southern Districts, and scrappy play here, just hacked off the ground. Dylan McLaughlin picks up nicely at half forward. Now Southern Districts up into the forward 50. Will Farah up high. Was taken under the footy by Brenton Motlop. He came back in, grabbed the footy, did well, and execution again. Terrible kick from Brenton Motlop. Definitely not where he intended it to go, and eventually out of bounds. Would have been very harsh if they'd called that deliberate then, Brenton.
Yeah, not the prettiest kick coming off the boot there, and
totally accidental there.
I mean, even Thomas Motlop kicking it out on the full.
I know.
There's some nervous start from Wanderers. So ball tossed in. At the back was Innes, not a clean gather out of the ruck. Will Farah comes out, ball dribbles towards Garlett. He can't pick it up, and it's going to be chopped off. Wanderers, though, still under a mountain of pressure. Handball out, a couple of chains picked up by Smith Thompson. He just boots it down the middle of Marara Oval, and it is going to be the side of the Crocodiles through Watts. A small little chip on the commentary wing. Long ball inside the forward 50. The kick there was from Schofield. He gets a handball back because he kept running just on the paint of 50. Cute little dink inside. Not sure it went 50 metres, but McLaughlin is going to have a shot on goal. And that was a very short 15 metres. Is that me or is...
8.5.
Well, either way, the Crocs... McLaughlin, who's been running hard, he's going to have a shot on goal. He'll probably have to kick it about 48 metres, slight angle to the right. Breeze going across the oval, so no real breeze behind him. Kicks it on the paint of 50 with his back foot, has the distance if you don't mind, and the carry and the accuracy, and they've kicked their third, and that is McLaughlin, who now has the Crocodiles 3 straight 18. Wanderers yet to score. 8 minutes gone, first quarter.
He's been lively, McLaughlin. I reckon he's up to about possession number 5 or 6 now. Just a good front and centre here, at just a handball off. And as you said there, 14.9.
I'm revising mine back to 6.
I was going to say, were they counting how high it went? It was a chip over.
I think they counted.
You don't count that it went 6 metres in the air and then 7 metres along the ground.
But he has been lively, and a great finish there by McLaughlin. He won't complain about the umpire score, I can guarantee that.
Not at all. No complaints there. Patrick Gallo up high for Southern Districts. Ball taken away now for the Eagles by Cooper. Errant handball falls back into the hands of Southern Districts here. Dylan Barry gets it out wide. Ogden, what's he going to do with it? He wheels around here, there and everywhere. Goes back to Barry. Does the Falcon, comes off the forward, somehow gets it here to Michael Bowden. Goes to that man again, McLaughlin, and to Barry. He's racked up possession number 3 or 4 just in that passage. Little chip here to Farah. And speaking of possessions, Josiah Farah in the game, Brenton, that's for sure. Finds himself about 50 from goal when he lets fly on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, very dangerous duo down there, the Farah brothers. Willie's offering a little lead there now. But McLaughlin, again, another possession. Just those little short hit-ups at half forward. He's just dominating.
Josiah Farah now, steady approach, crosses 50, kicks from 48, the high up and under, it's looking good. Ed Barlow likes it behind the goals. It's a goal. They've kicked their 4th in a row, the Crocodiles. They are 4 straight, 24. Wanderers yet to score. We've gone 9.5 minutes in the first quarter.
Eagles just really struggling to get any ascendancy as we have a look. They're just having their own way. They're just moving around. Michael Barlow, good decisions, comes in board. Josiah Farah, nice and easy. He knew he was going to go back and take the shot. His brother offered him a lead, but took the responsibility, put it through. But the Eagles just can't get any ascendancy in the clearances, and even when they're trying to come out of the back half, they cannot break past the Crocs defence at half back.
Just not finding their targets, are they, at the moment? So we now have the Crocodiles 24-0. Priest in the middle for Wanderers. Huge leap from Gallup. He just taps it, though, down as far as Howard. Chucks it on the boot to centre half forward for Wanderers. Chucked on the boot for the Crocodiles was Bowden. He just thumped it a good 40 metres. It's on the outer wing. They're under pressure. Great work from Thorne. Thorne tackling one of the Crocodiles players, but it's been picked up. Great gather by Weirung. Down on the ground, McLaughlin can't pick it up clearly. He's been slung in a tackle, got a kick away, but they're going to come back and say it was high against McLaughlin. So the ball, it's the centre wing on the outer. McLaughlin, a goal kicker so far, is going to have a free kick. He just chips it forward, looking for the lead of Barry. Takes a good mark right under the scoreboard. Left foot inside the forward 50. Oh, and waiting underneath it was Josiah Farah. But defensively for the Wanderers side, it has been kicked out by Lanson. Out under the scoreboard, and it's going to dribble over. So the Wanderers have been desperate in defence. And that ball is going to be tossed up right underneath the scoreboard on the outer wing, where the scoreboard shows Crocs 24, Wanderers 0. 11 minutes gone, first quarter.
Boundary throw in now. Patrick Gallo, the big man, gets a tap away. Wanderers first to the footy there through Howard. Got a handball away to McLean, but tracking it close to the boundary line. He can't keep control of it. And they'll do it all over again. Southern District's gaining about 20 metres or so in that piece of play. Wanderers yet to score here. Breeze going straight across the ground. Gee, the sideways boundary throw in favours Gallo, but Sebastian Priest got hands to it. Handball comes back here to Gallo. Quick kick inside 50. Ed Barlow picks up, scoots around on the right boot from 40 metres, has a crack at goal, and he's put that straight through the middle. 5 straight to Southern Districts. Welcome back, Ed Barlow.
Yeah, good finish there by Eddie Barlow. Just a bit of composure there. Nice kick come in as we have a look. Gallo's a big unit for the Crocs there. The ruckman, 35, I think he's wearing. Yeah.
Yep.
Just a quick kick in there. Just smart use by Barlow. Probably could have given off the hands. A little bit of a U-turn, but a great finish. He's experienced enough and he's skillful enough to do those sort of things. So you give players like that, you know, the permission to play. Good goal by the Crocs.
Such an important player is Ed Barlow, and interesting that they've got Gallo, because I don't think we're going to see too much more of Seb Gilhouse. So this is a rebuilding Southern Districts that we're seeing right here.
Ball tossed up. Gallo wasn't able to get to it because for Wanderers, Garton is back in the middle. He tried that first tap down. Wanderers, though, are the first team to clear it out through Sean. Shane Thorne kicks it out to the outer. They go side there, forward 50, up to full forward. And a great chest mark there from Joel Jeffrey. He's 4th on the goal-kicking tally at the moment for the season. Lining up for his first for tonight, 28th for the season. And the youngster with a great lead out in front. And now, though, the work is yet to be done. He's got a huge run-up here. It's about 30 metres. He's going to have to kick it about 35 metres out. Slight angle to the right, heading towards the Michael Long Learning Centre. Just goes over the paint of 50 now, breaks into a trot, drops it. Beautiful style, straight over the umpire's hat. High fives all around, and Wanderers get their first on the board, and the first for Joel Jeffrey, but they still trail the Crocs 30-6, 14 minutes gone opening term.
Yeah, there's a good finish there as we have a look at Shane Thorne, as you called. Started at Wanderers, went to Districts, now back at Wanderers again. But it's just quick movement. They didn't sort of take their time getting it in there, and it just is a great lead by Jeffries. Just didn't pull up on it. There was traffic coming towards him, but he just hit it hard, and a great finish by the young Eagle.
And what a great matchup, Joel Jeffrey and Brodie Lake.
Yeah, super. This
is going to be exciting.
Two National Academy players up against each other.
Fantastic.
Tops.
Fantastic. And Joel Jeffrey, what a talent he is. Brodie Lake the same, as you say. Interesting to see how that unfolds as this evening unfolds itself. Ball back in the middle now. Ruck contest won there for Southern Districts by Joshua Innes, but a hold called, and it will go to the Eagles here. Bo O'Connell, another talented youngster here for the Eagles to take possession in the midfield. Call to play on. And he does that. He goes out wide. Not the greatest of kicks. Hits Rory O'Brien on the chest. He will not be happy with that, O'Connell. O'Brien swings inboard, goes to Bowden. Bowden chips. Goes to Clark. Clark, the long right foot kick. Ogden met that with the boot. And the hit placed there on Josh Innes didn't worry him really. He got straight up, got the handball going. Southern Districts on the move here. And Bo O'Connell in the way, taking the mark here at right half back for the Eagles. 15 minutes gone, 30 plays 6 Districts in the lead.
Ugly ball that Thomas Motlop can't pick up. It was around his bootlaces. Is on the ground, second effort. Gets it forward off the ground, picked up by O'Connell for Wanderers, chopped off by Rory O'Brien for the Crocs. Now in the hands of Ed Barlow. He goes into the left forward pocket. Diving mark from Jeff Garlett. Can't be caught, and it bounces over the boundary. Just not finding the mark for both sides at the moment.
Yeah, no, a couple of good signs for Wanderers. Their players are finding the footy, but their decisions and execution just hasn't been there to retain possession.
So Garton for Wanderers. Ball goes over the top of both ruckmen. Not able to clear out now. 30 metres from goal for the Crocs, but it's going to come out from Wanderers. Quick boot out towards Hunt. Flashy boots on tonight for the Eagles in Hunt. And it wasn't able to pick it up. Williams a bit hesitant to put his head over the ball there. So now the ball's dribbled along the ground, picked up by Bowden. He goes really short with the kick to Smith. Smith goes inboard, finds O'Brien, who was unmarked. He has the opportunity to spot up a free Southern Districts player. 45 metres in from the 50-forward line. Ogden, huge, and that's going to be a push in the back, surely. No, mark paid to Ed Barlow, who looked like he'd given a huge two-handed push to his opposition player, but the whistle hasn't gone, and Ed Barlow is going to line up for his second, and this will be one of the easiest he'll have of his AFL and NTFL career. He's going to hit it about 20 metres. He just drops it over, and it's his second goal. It's the Crocs' 6th goal of the night, and I'd have to say that the Wanderers side are pretty stiff not to get a free kick there, Brenton.
Yeah, very unlucky there. Braden McLean clearly looked like there was 2 movements there. As we see, there's the push. The ball's not in 5 metres anyway, and it looked like 2 movements, but yeah, he wasn't turning around. He wasn't going to give it back to him, so bit unlucky there for the Eagles, but you know, if you get it in and you get it in quick, one out to your forwards, you're going to give them every chance, and sometimes they go your way, and you take them when they do.
Very fortunate there. So the ruck contest now, Mitchell Garton for the Eagles up against Innes. Garton wins that one down. Shane Thorne over the footy, a free kick to be paid here, so Thorne to take it. Can he move it quickly? Where's his target? Goes long inside 50. Looking down here again for Joel Jeffrey. Just read it beautifully at the back. Held his opponent off. There were 2 Districts players there, and he marked it, arms outstretched, very cleanly. Has the opportunity now to have his kick on goal. 45-degree angle will kick from just inside 50 to the left. Number 19 on the back. Interesting to see where he ends up in a year or two's time. So Joel Jeffrey, the pressure on here. Can he answer the call? Crosses 50, straight approach, starts it to the right and swings further right for a behind. So 1-1 his tally, same as the tally for the Eagles. 1-1-7, Crocodiles 6 straight, 36. We've gone almost 19 minutes in the first quarter.
Crocs, quick kick out, booming kick, drop mark by O'Brien. Still in the middle of the park. Bryan went running without it. It's going to be Wanderers that are going to try and get the ball. O'Brien's on the bottom. Ball just spills out. Innes can't pick it up for the Crocs. And there is going to be a free kick going towards Wanderers, not getting rid of it. So the ball is going to come back in the centre wing on the outer side. So again, some scrappy play, but it's going to go into Wanderers' favour. No one to kick to for Thompson. He just puts it down to the right forward pocket. Keegan Dingo for the Crocs did some great defensive work, and the ball is going to be cleared out, and it's actually going to go back into the lap of Thompson. So the ball has gone 20 metres each way, and we are back in the centre of the outer wing. Thompson takes his time, booming left kick about 50 metres down, and it goes back to Keegan Dingo for the Crocs. So they're playing kick to kick at the moment. Bad thing is that they're on the opposite side. Crocodiles just get outside their defensive 50 now. It's in the hands of Watts, the youngster. Was fabulous last week. He goes forward looking for his captain in Will Farah. He was under pressure by Motlop. That was Brenton Motlop, but he takes a good mark, the captain. Chips it over, just goes short and finds Bowden. Bowden takes off on the commentary wing, kicks it down, and a good juggling mark in the hands of Duffy, playing his 100th game tonight. Inside the forward 50, and a juggling mark by Clark. And Clark has the opportunity to line up for his second goal of the night.
Yeah, just good quick movement again, getting it in, one out. Yeah, Braden McLean probably just caught out of position just slightly there, or the Districts player having a better position than McLean. Nice easy mark, should slot this one through.
Jaden Clark walks over 50. He's going to hit it from 40 metres out. Slightest angle to the right, and he has missed it. It was straight, but it wasn't straight off the boot. So that is Districts 6-1-37, Wanderers 1-1-7, 22 minutes gone, opening term.
Drag him. He's kicked the first behind for the team.
It was accurate up until then.
Very much so. Eagles now with ball in hand. Ball flicked back here to Thomas Motlop. Interesting interview from him that we heard earlier. Goes to Brenton, just hangs on with the second attempt here. Manning the mark, Jaden Clark. Brenton Motlop, his kicking's been a little bit off tonight. He's a good player. High up and under here. Jaden Watts jumped early. Keenan Smith-Thompson couldn't hang on. Bo O'Connell scoots through the pack. Just passes off here to Matthew Motlop. He kicks long down the line. Mark taken now by Joden Schofield. They move it on quickly. Taken by Michael Barlow. Gee, there's some good names out there tonight for Southern Districts. Very steady. Away now by Dylan McLaughlin. Kicks out wide. Rory O'Brien racking up the possessions in this first quarter. Chips inboard, goes to Barry, had hands to it. Ashley Lanson trying to charge his way through. He was tackled. Ball dropped. Taken by Dylan McLaughlin. Bombs away towards goal. No mark taken. Jeffley Garlett fighting for it here. Oh, that's a high tackle surely on Braden McLean. He's tossed away, and the free kick paid by the umpire, who was 60 metres away, and he paid it correctly, I think, to Braden McLean for the high tackle.
Jeff Garlett's just got up limping as well. Keep an eye on that for us as Thomas Motlop for the Eagles takes them outside their defensive 50. They're out on the commentary wing. Picked up by Thorne. He goes long down the commentary wing, but unfortunately the numbers favour the Crocs. And Gallo, the tall ruckman, takes a mark. He goes inside, gets it to O'Brien. Running through was Weerung. He gets a handball off as well. Now inside the forward 50, William Farah out on the mark. One take, two, couldn't pick it up. Handballs it to his brother, Josiah Farah. He dances around a player and he tries to chip it into Ed Barlow, but it's going to be cut off for the Wanderers side and kicked into the middle to Thorne. Thorne got it forward, wasn't able to be picked up by Bates. Now running onto it is Watts for Southern Districts. He tried to curl it around the body, a huge up and under, and he'll be disappointed in that because he had a couple of players free in the goal square, but the youngster went for a shot on goal and he's missed everything, and it will be kicked in 10 metres around from the right goalpost.
Yeah, I think Jaden Clark and Willie Farah will be the two that will be disappointed with that effort because they were standing unattended just about in the goal square. So just a bit of sort of blazing away and a bit of composure required by the Crocs.
Brenton Motlop now ball in hand, right half back. Just trying to steady play here. I think Jaden Watts has got a left ear burning from Will Farrer and the other one burning from Jaden Clark. Found a target, did Brenton Motlop, teammate in Robert Howard, flicks it out wide. Handball coming in now to Warwick Williams. Oh, that's a lovely kick. Geez, delivered two beautiful kicks as Williams. The first one found Joel Jeffrey for a goal. Now he's found Bo O'Connell on the paint of 50. And O'Connell says, I will have a crack at it. He's still looking for the lead, though, here, Bo O'Connell. Who's offering? There it comes. Joel Jeffrey on the lead. His under-18 partner in crime from the grand final last year. They both played so well together in that premiership for the Eagles. And there he is finding him again. So Joel Jeffrey, he's kicked a goal from here already tonight. He finds himself lining up again. 40-degree angle, right of centre. And he'll kick from just inside 50.
He worked really hard for that. There was 3 or 4 lead efforts there. He led once, doubled back, led again. No one come with him. Ended up standing in space, and then O'Connell saw it, and all the district's defence had sagged off by that stage.
Tambling on the mark, he crosses 50, kicks from about 47. Kick on the way, he wasn't happy. The moment it left the boot, he knew it wasn't as good as it should have been. So a behind on the board again for the Eagles. Quarter time siren sounds. Wanderers 1-2-8 after that effort from Joel Jeffrey. Crocodiles, however, 6-1, 37. They hold a 29-point lead at quarter time.
So that was a pretty big quarter from the Crocs, an accurate quarter.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre.
Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
come in and see it.
Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Confidence building there, and yeah, Shannon Rusker still has his troops. Jeff Garland at the front of the group, a lot of head nodding as he gets these final instructions to his team. For the Wanderers side, they're already out there about to take their positions, and having a quick look, I think you might be right, and that Aaron Motlop again, has he gone to the bench? Just having a look down there. Or is that him out in the middle? We'll just have a quick look. He's got, yeah, no, he's out in the middle. So there you go. I think he's just going out to the middle. Just a bit proppy on his right leg. So we'll keep an eye on that. So we're going to see him for the first time start in the middle for this second quarter. And the Crocs are just now coming out of their group. And there's about 20 other people that have got to go and find their seats in the stands. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you are listening. I'm Shannon Byrne, joined by Dominic McCormack, and our expert tonight is Brenton Toy. It's the Crocodiles by 29 points at quarter time. And to get us underway in the second term, it's Dominic McCormack.
Thanks, Shannon. It's the Shannon show tonight. Shannon Motlop, Shannon Rusker, Shannon Byrne, here we are. Oh, they've got to put the pressure on themselves. I think Southern Districts make sure that they really play well tonight. Round 17, they'll take on Palmerston. Round 18, they take on Waratah. So they've really got to use these matches well. They won't find the pressure from these games. I don't think that they will in the finals. So they've got to make sure they really do well themselves.
And so the Eagles have that tough run home, but when we spoke to Will Farrell last week, he was even saying that, you know, the likes of Wanderers, Waratah and Palmerston, they want to knock off a top team, and they happen to be the one that they're in front of.
They've got to make the most of it. Make the most of it, organise themselves, build. Well done, Sebastian Priest, out of the middle. Almost found Bo O'Connell, couldn't do so. Dre Thompson got a touch in there. Good handball to Sebastian Priest. Quick inside 50, but the mark taken by Keegan Dingo. Been a steady defender for a long period of time. Kicks out to Jaden Watts. Well taken, handball on immediately. Got the ball moving. Michael Bowden been good. Dangerous left footer, got it out to Ogden. Handball off now to Watts. Inboard to Tambling. Tambling away to Werrung. Werrung to McLaughlin. Great run here. Dylan Barry. What a running goal from the Crocodiles. Really good play. Great ball movement. And finished off wonderfully well by the left footer Dylan Barry.
It was great ball movement, but it just looked too easy. There was great clean hands, don't get me wrong, but just too many uncontested possessions. You know, Ogden, nobody with Watts there, and a handball over. Tambling, no one with him, you know, just another uncontested player, another uncontested player. Just far too easy for Southern Districts at the moment. Wanderers going to really need to tighten up and try and lock down the game a little bit and force a bit more of a scrap, and try not to play so much of a shootout game, because at the moment it's not going to work out for them.
There was about 5 or 7 possessions there, and there was not one opposition player within 2 metres, so not even a hand on them. They'll be disappointed. What can they do now? Again, Priest for Wanderers wins it down in the middle. So the clearance out for the Eagles, down in the right forward pocket. Great mark from Keegan Dingo. He just pickpocketed Braun. Great work from the Croc defender. Now Southern Districts are again away on the commentary wing. Ogden wants to play on. He wheels around, goes down inside the forward left pocket. Ed Barlow was out in front, dropped a mark. He tries to go in again and pick it up, but it's Wanderers. Can't clear it. Josiah Farah gets the ball and has a quick shot on goal, and he's missed everything. and it's gone out of bounds 10 metres around from the left goalpost.
Oh dear, his brother won't be happy with him. He was about 10 metres in the clear there in the corridor. Now, Brenton, why can't they use the ball? What is going on there?
Good question.
Can you answer that, Mr. AFLNT?
So there's a ball laying behind the goalpost, but the ball that was kicked by Josiah Farah has gone over the netting, and there is a player who has to go over a fence, up some stairs, and go and collect the ball. What is that rule?
I think it's got to go through for a point. That's the ball that was in play, in general play, and it's gone out of bounds. You've got to use it. It hasn't gone through for a point, so you
There's
need
no
to use
grey
that.
matter that if it goes 20 metres away from what you can actually...
I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
McLean, well done. Thanks for going and getting the footy.
Players, yes, here in the top end, your players go and get your own ball.
Go and get your own footy, which he has. Brings the ball back into play. Kicks long down the corridor here on the Morris Rioli grandstand side. High tackle missed there. Well done to Fiji, I think it was. He just kept going. Bo O'Connell, handball inboard to Cooper. Good handball to Matthew Motlop, just couldn't keep it in. Ogden tracking him closely. The ball out of bounds for another boundary throw-in, just to the right of our commentary position here in the grandstand. 3.5 minutes gone here in this second quarter. 43 plays 8. Crocodiles in the lead.
Mind you, I've thought about it. If he didn't go and get the ball, who would? So it's that far. It's probably best. So ball tossed back in, but there is going to be a free kick off the ball, a push, and that is going to go to Aaron Motlop.
And
that's against Michael Barlow. Aaron Motlop didn't want to kick that ball, so that was interesting. He gave it off to Bo O'Connell. Flying high for Wanderers was Williams on the paint of 50, but the ball has gone over the boundary. So Aaron Motlop didn't even want to kick that ball.
yeah, interesting. And usually, you know, he's a great user of the football. So perhaps something not right there.
Ball tossed back in. Williams was in front, but it's gone over the back to Innes. Ball down on the ground. Free kick high going towards Smith. And the Crocs Smith goes quickly inboard to O'Brien. He was under pressure, dropped the mark he should have taken. And it's been picked up now by Dre Thompson. Handballs to Garton, expecting the ball. Got a handball off and a quick shot on goal. And that was Matthew Motlop. It's missed everything. And from the right forward pocket, he's seen it out on the left. And there'll be a ball tossed in about 5 metres round from the left post.
Yeah, a bit of a risk coming back inboard there to centre-half back by the Crocs, and it didn't come off for him. Wanderers unlucky there not to convert.
So boundary throw in now, left forward pocket. 43 plays 8, scoring opportunity here for the Eagles. Tossed in, Garton gets in front, taps it to the advantage there of Keegan Dingo, who just rushes it through. The umpire says that's fine, and Dingo plays on immediately. Number 17, racking up possessions, Rory O'Brien for the Crocodiles. Flicks it out wide. Finds a teammate. Little chip inboard, goes to Tambling. Takes the mark low down. Just steady here. Where will he go? Comes back inboard. Looks for Zach Smith. Takes that mark beautifully. Passes it off. Another lovely kick, but great effort there. Holman goes in for the Shepherd. In fact, it was Bates. Ball comes here to Matthew Motlop. Goes now to Bo O'Connell. Handball to Williams. Good build up here from the Eagles. Williams steps inside nicely. Kicks beautifully. Lovely, and a good mark as well. So the mark taken there by Ronald Fijo. Quickly plays on, looking for and finding Thorne. Excellent ball movement from the Eagles. And Thorne will go back and kick from dead in front, 20 metres out.
Yeah, it was good work there by Fiji. I was almost going to question the decision to go wide to the pocket, but he was smart enough to play on quick. Found Shane Thorne. He's a clever, crafty player.
So Thorne now directly in front. Kicks on goal and puts that one straight through the middle. Welcome back, Shane Thorne, and his teammates go to him. He scores his first for the evening. More importantly, Wanderers have their second. 2-3-15, trailing Southern District 7-1-43.
Yeah, so just that bit of play there, you know, would have been good to just move it a bit quicker and a bit more direct towards goal. But luckily enough there for Fijo, he had Shane Thorne, you know, under a little bit of pressure there from Richie Tambling to take the mark, but did it nonetheless and slotted through for a goal. But, yeah, just not a strange way of getting it in, but perhaps they might want to think about just going a little bit more direct and a bit more quicker.
Interesting, while that shot on goal was being taken, Bo O'Connell just massaging his own right calf. So
yeah,
we'll
doing
just
some
keep an eye on that.
Exactly. So Garton and Innes in the middle. Innes and Garton drop to the ground. The two big ruckmen try and jump on it. Matthew Motlop gets a boot. Still haven't gone outside the centre circle. And there's 4 players on top of the ball. A couple of players help each other out. And it is going to be thrown back up in the middle of the park. Innes and Garton go back at it again. Innes picked it up from the ground. The ruckman in there at the moment for the Crocs tries to get it out. Ball comes out to the commentary wing. Leading the race is Watts. He tries to pick it up, pads it forward. Had 2 Eagles players on his heel. Did well. Now the Crocs have it, and it's going to be Duffy that puts it in board. Duffy there, head over. He's been tackled by 2 Eagles players. And Duffy, the man playing his 100th NTFL game tonight, he's helped off the deck, and the ball is going to be thrown up on the commentary wing. Garton gets a handball to it. Matthew Motlop was dragged down on the ground. Jaden Clark, might have disposed of that illegally. Play on, said the umpire. Duffy couldn't get a ball kicked to it as well. Tough footy out there at the moment. No real advantage. There's about 10 players around the ball. Looks like there was a throw caught by the umpire. The Eagles going to play on, and they're going to come down the commentary wing.
Braden McLean with the long kick, but the steady hands there of Keegan Dingo. He did beautifully there, kept his eye on the ball as he tracked it back. Took the mark, moves it on now to Zach Smith. Bo O'Connell's come off the ground too for the Eagles, getting some attention to that right calf. Long kick now to Rory O'Brien. Doesn't take the mark, slaps it on further. Finds Ogden, scoots around inside 50. Little chip looking there for and finding Michael Barlow. So he finds Barlow dead in front, 30 metres out from goal.
And Bo O'Connell looks like he's out. He's getting ice to a right calf.
Well, that is not good news for him personally or for the Eagles team. Michael Barlow now to take his first deliberate shot at goal tonight. Skips in 35 metres out and puts that straight through the middle. What a skillful player he is. And the Crocodiles, they move on to 8-1, 49 Wanderers, 2-3, 15, 9.5 gone in the second quarter.
Yeah, just far too easy again. Probably a mark there that the district player should have taken, moved it on quickly. Ogden, he's been lively, usually plays down back, but causing some headaches up forward today. And there's Barlow, takes that mark. He dropped a sitter about a minute ago, but he would have made sure he wanted to take that one, and certainly in front of goals, and went back and kicked it.
One of the great things about our competition, isn't it? I mean, to see players like Michael Barlow running around here, such a quality player.
So the Crocs are accurate tonight. 8-1, 49. Wanderers 2-3, 15. Ball tossed up in the middle. Gallo back in there for the Crocodiles. Ball is going to be given to the Eagles. A free kick. It was holding off the ball. And Bates is going to kick it to the outer. An ugly kick to Smith-Thompson. Makes him go and fetch the ball. He comes back inside, and it's been picked off by Josiah Farah. Kicks it forward. Short little kick. Barry's going to pick it up. Oh, he went without it. Brenton Motlop handballs it, and he's going to get a free kick because he was taken around the legs. It's going to be played on quickly by Wanderers on the outer side, underneath the scoreboard. Wanderers, not much coming forward. And the ball is going to be picked off and marked by Schofield. Oh, not sure he had it fully there. A couple of the players weren't happy with that, but they blew the whistle. And now the Crocodiles, defensive 50, kick it out through the middle. Watts is being well harassed. He's harassed off the ball. Picked up by Bates.
Oh, he's got the free kick,
He's
Shannon.
got the free kick. So he was held a little too long without the ball. Watts, one of the youngest out there on the field, kicks forward. And a lovely kick, another drop mark from Barry from the Crocs. Can't pick it up on the third attempt. Watts comes through, trying to pick it up. Now another scrappy bit of play, about 10 balls. Think of under eights is what we're watching at the moment in this passage. A lot of players are out. Oh, that was a high, unnoticed by the umpire, and it's going to come out the pack through Josiah Farah.
Farah with his long kick now inside 50. Contest there, Brenton Motlop and Will Farah. Brenton Motlop pushed Farah off the ball initially. Farah tracking back. Well done by Lanson. Gathered by Garlett. Has the shot on goal. Ronald Fijo, well positioned from the youngster. Concedes a behind.
I think what he's done is marked it in the field of play,
yeah, and then he
run through the points, but then come back through the goal,
around,
which is a behind.
Which will be a behind.
I think that's what he did.
Yes, he did.
Yep. Whereas if he'd played on through the same corridor, the same area.
Yep,
in and out.
He
You
would
have
have
to
been
go in and
okay.
out the same area.
So behind Brenton
Work
Toy.
it out.
Brenton Toy. No wonder you were a coach, mate. Look at that. So Braden McLean take the footy after that conceded behind accidentally. Still good work from the youngster who was right on the spot, Fijo. Keenan Smith-Thompson now with ball in hand. What can he do with it? Swings around on the right, finds Bates. Normally a good user of the footy. Kicks long, kicks poorly, let me down. Keegan Dingo reading the ball magnificently well tonight. He flicks it around now. Goes to Zach Smith. That was a good 40-metre kick. Goes by hand to Bowden. Will reel onto the left boot. Has a bounce. Tackled by Shane Thorne after he kicked the footy. Almost marked there by Josiah Farah. Scoots around with good pace. Gets the ball to Barlow by hand. Needs to go back to Farah, and he does. Now on the left boot, the up and under, looking for Barry. Underneath the footy, brings the ball to ground. Barlow can't grab hold of it. That's Ed. Taken there by Holman. Tries to push an opponent away. Going in strongly there is Louis. So too Jaden Clark for Southern Districts. The umpire letting this go here. He'll have to call it up surely, and he does. Right on 50 or thereabouts, favouring the Crocodiles. He'll take it and ball it up. 13 minutes gone. The Crocodiles leading 50-15.
Ball tossed up. It's Gallo that taps it down. They're inside their forward 50 at the moment. Eagles desperately trying to pat it out through the legs of Gallo. And it's Thompson, Dre Thompson, who comes firing out of the middle, if you don't mind. 1-2 give, goes forward over the head, and at the back it's Keegan Dingo. He wasn't able to do, he's tackling now, Keegan Dingo, and Schofield's going to pick it up for the Crocs. Drop the ball, incorrect disposal, but play on. Now it comes out to Joel Jeffrey. He's met by Keegan Dingo, brought down on the ground, and they're going to be having to ball it up 40 metres out, directly in front in favour of Wanderers. Joel Jeffrey puts his hand up, so does Keegan Dingo. For the Crocs, ball up. Dingo gets a pat the second time, third time if you don't mind. Ball kicked out of the pack quickly for the Crocs, and it's going to fall in the lap of Priest. Priest gets it on to Matthew Motlop, quickly down the right forward pocket. At the back is, for the Crocodiles, Weerung. Crowd there liked his spin. There's no one around him. That's probably why they were giving him some stick. Brodie Lake doesn't look down towards, and a booming kick across the field. Now they're on the outer side through O'Brien. He puts it forward to Clark. Clark's running onto it. He's being well chased by Smith-Thompson for the Eagles, and Clark is not able to cleanly pick it up. The ball travels out 80 metres from the Crocs goal on the right.
I'm not sure if that was McLaughlin, but they should have done better there, Southern Districts. They had to clear out. They had a player overlap. Just had to be a bit better with the ball use, and they would have been away. But good work by the Eagles to get back and force enough pressure.
Good boundary throw in there from the umpire. Ball comes from Ed Barlow to Rory O'Brien. Now to Ogden. Was taken high. Takes possession of the footy. Disposes of it poorly. Ronald Fijo in the game. Just needs to pick up the footy here. Can't do so. Close to the boundary line. Sees it out of bounds for a boundary throw in. About 30 around from the Crocodiles' goal. They'll have another opportunity here. 8-2-50 they are. Need to be clean, because they will not get this time and space against Nightcliff or the Tiwi Bombers when they face them in the finals. They need to build here, and that's what they are doing. Boundary throw in. Ed Barlow wins that one away. No one can take clean possession. Coming through there was McLaughlin. Had two paddles at it. Couldn't take it cleanly. Tackle laid by Farah. Ashley Lanson coming charging through. Was taken high and will take the free kick for the Eagles. Just inside his defensive 50.
So he decides to go back. Whoa, very dangerous kick, but it just falls to Thompson. Thompson comes out to Thomas Motlop. They're on the commentary wing. Now in the centre of the grandstand wing, right in front of their interchange, and just on the interchange, Aaron Motlop is getting a right knee heavily strapped, it looks like. And Bo O'Connell is out for Wanderers, so a couple of men down at the moment in their troops, the Eagles, but the ball is now with Joel Jeffrey. Looked like he might have run it out of play, but he gets a ball inside. Richard Tambling's tackle brought to the ground for the Crocodiles. Brodie Lake picks it up, gives a handball to O'Brien, who was run down from behind by a Crocs player. So now Dre Thompson gets a handball on. Joel Jeffrey dribbling it through, and it's just going to be picked off by the Crocodiles' wee rung, and it was not going to be accurate anyway, but it was a good effort.
Keegan Dingo brings the footy into play. Out wide finds Michael Barlow. Lovely disposal of the footy. Hits Lionel Ogden on the chest on centre wing. His long kick down towards Will Farrer. Could have wrapped it up on the first, didn't. Was just trampled there by Brenton Motlop, who took the ball and has scored a try across the boundary line there. Did everything that he needed to there. Brenton Motlop took out his player, took the ball over the line and gained a boundary throw in for his team.
Actually, it was just Braun, sorry. I didn't see the one, but they're far away. So it's Braun who's got some strapping, and O'Connell is definitely out for the Eagles.
So boundary throw in. Clean possession taken there by Braden McLean. Southern District's player down behind play. Dylan McLaughlin it might be. Whoever it was, he just got up immediately and got a kick away.
That's
Comes to Barry. Tackled. Got a handball away. How he did that, I don't know. Ball flicks up and comes to Jaden Watts. Little left boot dinky kick finds Brodie Lake. What's he doing down there?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've made a move or whether he's just drifted forward.
Handballs away here to a teammate in Jaden Schofield. Bombs away. Goal square. Mark taken. Mark or free kick. Ed Barlow has it in the goal square. And Ed Barlow will go back here for his third. He's kicked 2 in the first quarter and should go back and kick his third here.
Yeah, just as we look, and he should put this one through.
And he does exactly that on the right boot, Ed Barlow. Well done to him. Crocodiles 9-2-56, Wanderers 2-4-16, 18 and a half gone in the second.
Very hard matchup, Eddie Barlow. He's a tall, big body, but he can play through the midfield. He's not overly quick, but he can can run for a while, and just mismatched there with Thomas Motlop doing everything he possibly could. Take your pick. He's either holding the man or he took the mark, one or the other. But yeah, as I said, tough player to match up on, Eddie Barlow. He runs through the midfield, but then you can push him forward. Very smart player, knows where the footy's going, knows how to use his body, and very clean with his skills.
So it's the Crocs 56 leading Wanderers 16, 20 minutes gone in the second term. Priest in the middle for Wanderers and Innes for the Crocs. Both go too early. Priest got the bounce, but it's going to be wrapped up, and it's going to be a ball up. And on the bottom was Duffy playing his 100th game tonight. Ball tossed up, still in the centre circle. This time, Priest for Wanderers came charging through, got a tap, but it's going to be the Crocs that are going to clear it out of the middle. Up and under, and Jay Watts just went over the top. Not picked up cleanly now by the Crocodiles. Weerung, he puts it forward. Duffy got a handball, got it onto Watts. Watts, open space, kicks it on goal to the left. And it was straight, but unfortunately his radar was off, so it's behind. Crocodiles 57, Wanderers 16, 21 minutes gone.
Braden McLean to bring the footy into play. Goes now. Comes towards the Morris Rioli grandstand side. Good talking there from Joel Jeffrey. Let Keenan Smith-Thompson know that he was in the clear to take that on his chest, which he does. Little chip finds Bo O'Connell. Back on the ground after that calf complaint. Good to see.
Just needed some magic ice.
Found the magic ice, did the job.
It's unusual to ice and then come
back on.
Usually I'd encourage players to ice, and that's the end of it for you.
So Fijo with ball in hand. Long kick from Fijo down towards Priest. Comes off hands. Williams, good pace. Got the ball out in front, away from Werrong, and then soccers it away. There was calls for deliberate from the crowd and from the Crocodiles, but nothing doing from the central umpire.
Might be a little bit deceiving for the viewers. Like, it looks like it's beautiful, dry conditions out there, but the amount of humidity and sweat, I've just noticed in the last 5 minutes, players not one grabbing at a few easy drop marks. So very tough conditions out there tonight.
Boundary throw in now. Innes with Sebastian Priest, the ball away to Bo O'Connell, trying to handball to himself there, just taken away now by Smith. Drills a pass into Barry, couldn't take the mark. McLean over the ball, wrapped up by Barlow, steals it away from him. Good tackle late on him, got the handball away to a teammate. Now Barlow, Michael Barlow with ball in hand. Gee, just calm and strong under pressure. Got the kick away. Jaden Watts with the spin, trying to get away from Thomas Motlop. He almost succeeded, but the boundary line beat them both. So boundary throw in to take place just to the left of the interchange gate for the Eagles. 21 and a half gone here in the second quarter. 57 plays 16, Crocs in the lead.
McLaughlin in the first quarter, my player for the second. Jaden Watt's outstanding. He's been lively, and he's one player that I have noticed has been clean with his hands.
So Garton up against Gallo. Garton had front spot. It was a shallow throw, but Gallo for Crocs tapped it forward off the ground, picked up beautifully, put onto the left by Barry into the right left forward pocket, coming around and gonna have a shot on goal, if you don't mind, is captain Will Farah. And he just picked up the ball cleanly, was able to run around and slot a goal under pressure. And that's what it means. A lot of players come around to the captain. It was his 150th last week, and he's picked up his first goal of the evening.
And again, just sloppy again, but he just comes over the top here. And I think Willie Farah, he's turning circles a bit tighter than Brenton Motlop's. Just trying to get him there, but very nimble Willie Farah. We know how agile he is. He's a great leap and mark, but let's not forget he is a quick and very agile player as well at ground level. Very
silky skills, and that puts the Crocs out to an 8-goal lead, 23 minutes gone, second quarter.
Big men back in the middle. Patrick Gallo shaping up here for the Crocodiles. So too Mitchell Garton. Time on here in the second quarter. Big men are up. Garton got a hand to it for the Eagles. Shock it away there for Southern Districts, but a hold is the call on Josiah Farah. So he will take the free kick. The ball to come back to him. It's been okay. Josiah Farah knows how to use his pace. Man on the mark there is Howard. Long kick from Farah. Down towards Will Farah. Left high. Couldn't take the mark. Competing for it here, Dylan Barry got hands to it and a handball away, only as far as Brenton Motlop. Just hacks it out wide. On the chase now, Bo O'Connell goes to step in board, delivers by hand, goes to Keenan Smith-Thompson. Handball's back, didn't find his teammate. Turnover here in favour of Southern Districts. Michael Barlow now off to Rory O'Brien, pops it up, no mark taken. Half forward here, ball in the hand of Dylan Barry. Releases by hand, goes to Josiah Farah, runs to 48, chips out wide and finds Will Farah all by himself in the right forward pocket. Siren sounds for half-time. Will Farah with the opportunity to kick 2 goals in a row here. 45-degree angle. He's been such a good goal kicker over the years. He has struggled with his confidence this season. The captain in his 151st game. The number 27 on the back. Kicks and kicks truly. Very happy with that, and his teammates come to him as well they might. He's one player that they need to build confidence in as they head towards the finals. So 2 goals to Will Farah, both of them kicked in the last 2 minutes. So the Crocodiles move on to 11-3, 69, leading Wanderers 2-4-16 at.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Absolutely zero.
Zero.
Yeah, definitely.
It has to be 0.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I don't think that's asking too much.
(1,300 kilonewton centrifugal force, infrared
remote control.
How does he do it?
24.5 kilowatt diesel motor.
He doesn't just know how to operate every piece of Kennard's hire gear we get in, but also its service details, its safety checks.
I know.
It's as if he can hypnotise each piece.
Give me 2 passes with sauce, coffee white with 1 bun with icing, no pink icing.
Yep, no worries, Terry.
Kennard's making job easy.
Time to escape, cause I'm in need of warmer weather. Sail upon the stream to find there's someplace better. And I'm going far and wide. Ooh.
Great Northern Brewing Co., the beer from up here.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
Looking for the best and brightest to join your team? At Quality People, we specialise in finding quality, hard-to-get professionals, and we have an office right here in Darwin. Kick your recruitment goals with Quality People. qualitypeople.com.au.
Now that's quality.
On Territory roads, anything can happen. So you need to drive to the conditions. Speeding can get you into all sorts of trouble. Dirt roads aren't just dusty. When it's hard to see, they're dangerous. At water crossings, remember, you're driving a motor car, not a boat. High water can be deep trouble.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
Choosing a health fund can be tricky. Some are too big, too small, or just not right at all. But with Territory Health Fund, you can make sure your cover is the right fit.
The NTFL clubs and umpires would like to share the following events and messages and thank their sponsors.
Getting my hands on the footy and just being with my mates.
I like being outdoors. It just makes me happy. I don't like it when I get yelled at.
It's pretty embarrassing when someone's shouting at you halfway through the game.
It makes me feel like I'm useless and I can't do anything.
We're just kids.
We're just here to have fun.
Let us do what we love.
Just let kids be kids.
Get your stannies, I'll go home and get my panties, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh.
Wedding or birthday is coming up? Maybe a get-together with friends and family. Waratah Clubhouse at Gardens Oval is the perfect venue for your next community function. Celebrate in the home to one of Darwin's iconic football clubs, Waratah Clubhouse.
For more information, please visit the relevant club or umpire's Facebook page.
in, the Southern Districts better not be looking at the scoreboard and thinking, oh, you know, we're done and dusted here, this is all fine, because this is a team that normally this season, Brenton, has just kept on coming.
And they've got nothing to lose, do they?
No, not at all. They've got youthful enthusiasm out there, but like I said in the, the intro earlier, like when I was involved with TIO this year, Wanderers took us to task on both occasions. I think they beat us once and, almost knocked us off on the island. So, certainly a lot of talent. Just looking at Michael Cooper coming off number 10 for the Eagles. Super talent, played 17 games for me last year at the Tiwi Bombers and went back to Wanderers to his father's club and just looking forward to tracking him. Super player.
Andrew Cooper's son?
Absolutely, yep.
How old is he now, Brenton?
17, I think.
17, okay.
Yep. So he'll be another player that will look to engage into the academy. Yep.
Okay.
And just
terrific.
quickly on Shannon Motlop, as we say, a tough season for him out of the finals, but now playing for Pride these last 3 games. Also, you think of Alwyn Davies with the Palmerston Magpies, and we've spoken to them throughout the season as well. That's tough for morale. They did register 1 win so far of the season, but, as we mentioned, great to see these first-time coaches, but for some of them, it has been a tough season. Yeah, certainly for Shan, but I think, people around Wanderers know it's a little bit of a rebuilding phase. Palmerston, I'm not sure. Like, they've been rebuilding for a while and haven't got there. All right, it is all about the second half coming up. Dominic McCormack to get us underway.
Mitchell Garton up high for the Eagles, gets a nice little tap out down. Aaron Motlop clears the centre. Keegan Dingo up high, didn't take the grab and hits the ground hard. He's still down. Courage from Zach Smith also. Ball taken away from Garton, gets it to Fijo. Little kick on the side of the boot is now stolen away by Michael Bowden. He gets a kick away on the right boot, close to the boundary, being tracked to the boundary by Jaden Watts, and will be a boundary throw into the left of the Wanderers interchange. Runners going out now to Keegan Dingo.
Yeah.
He's just on his haunches, and my goodness, that looked extremely dangerous.
Yeah, very spectacular tumble there by Dingo. Hopefully he's only just winded and nothing wrong with him.
Well, he's to his feet and he's getting a drink, so that's great news. So Keegan Dingo to his feet after that. But the ball now down in front of the interchange. Free kick. There's to Duffy, who's getting up holding his right arm. Pushed after he disposed of it. Oh, just holding his right arm at the moment.
Interestingly, Southern District started with only 3 players on the bench. Ogden, Tambling and Josh Innes.
So keep an eye if someone comes out of the ice box. And Duffy's kicked a long ball down the wing. A pack of players. At the back was one of their backup ruckmen in Garton. Wanderers under a mountain of pressure. Still trying to get out of it. Now they do through O'Connell. He goes in through the middle. Aaron Motlop dropped a catch he should have taken. Rory O'Brien puts the Southern District side in front. McLaughlin thought about kicking it, but he handballs off unselfishly, and it is kicked through by Jeff Garlett. An unselfish play there. Garlett picks up his second, and that was unselfish from McLaughlin, seeing an unmarked Garlett 2 metres out.
Yeah, just good pressure again by the Crocs. We saw McLean give to O'Connell. He come back inboard and probably should have been marked there by his teammate, but turned over. Plenty of Crocs in attendance, and nice easy one for Jeff. He won't get many more easier than that up here.
Well, fantastic play there by the Crocodiles, and again, Dylan McLaughlin in the action, doing the hard things that have to be done. We see Keegan Dingo has actually taken his place on the bench, just being attended to by the trainers, but generally speaking, looks okay. Feeling the back of his neck, and well, he might be too. He hit the ground hard. It's just terrific to see him being able to walk off. Patrick Gallo wins it forward. Shane Thorne swooping on the footy, gets a handball out wide, looking for Dre Thompson. He picks it up and takes off. Michael Barlow actually keeps up with him. Ball kicked down inside, attacking 50. Bowden couldn't pick it up, tracks it towards the boundary line. Just pushed it in front of himself. Very professional play there from Bowden. Wins a boundary throw-in for his team. Almost 3 minutes gone here. Crocs leading 75-16. 12-3 they are after that Garlett goal. So a boundary throw-in now. 40 metres around from the Eagles' goal. Ball tossed high. Patted forward there by Gallo. Picked up here by Fijo. He's come into the game. And that's an errant kick, to say the least, from the right forward pocket. Out of bounds on the full. That will be taken by the Crocodiles, and they'll bring that back into play.
But with the ball that was behind the goals, they let him do it.
So ball kicked back into play to
well
Schofield.
spotted, Brendan Toy.
Now it's going to come through Wirrong. Wirrong gets him outside the defensive 50. Drops shorts to Ogden. He was still able to gather it. Nice kick down the line. Brodie Lake was there, and he goes through traffic, gets a handball away, but not to the advantage of his player in front of Jaden Clark. And happily to see it over the line is Lanson, and it'll be a ball tossed in front of the Southern District's interchange.
Ogden featuring too in that passage of play.
Yep.
Mr. No warm-up.
Yeah. I'd like to see them do something different with Lake. Like, he's doing a great job on Jeffries, but, you know, I think in a game like this you can, you know, mix things up a little bit. It'll be great to see him up on a wing or midfield or forward, or just something different to see that, you know, if you know you need to move him, you can.
Now it's Bates. It kicks it inside the forward 50, and it's rolling, and it's stopped rolling about 5 metres from the goal, and that is going to be kicked through for the Eagles. But there's a little bit of concern for Williams, who's down on the ground, but the ball is going to be awarded a goal, but there was some concern for Williams. And coming back is Braun, who was able to get that ball off Bates, who just booted it inside the forward 50, and it just dropped in the goal square. But Wanderers have picked up their third. Oh, he's hit the post. No wonder Williams stayed down. He was taken off the ball with a little nudge, and he did not see that coming, and Williams has just wrapped himself around the post, but he's up to his feet. But Braun has scampered on the ball that was laying moments couple of metres out from the goal, and he's picked up Wanderers third, but they still trail the Crocodiles 75, Wanderers 22, 6 minutes gone, third quarter.
Mitchell Garton wins it out of the middle, loses it immediately to Michael Barlow, bangs away on the left foot, the high up and under. First person to get there is Dylan Barry for the Crocodiles. Tackled well by Dre Thompson, and he'll win himself a free kick at right half back for his team. Now takes off. Needs to deliver the ball well. Goes to the big man in Garton, couldn't take the mark. Tambling. Thought he was going to get a free kick then, but in fact it's gone to the big man in Mitchell Garton. What can he do with the footy? Bangs long, inside 50. The Crocodiles' defence go at it. Wirrong gets a nice handball away to Ogden. Ogden off to Tambling. Needs to dispose of it quickly, and he does under pressure from Fijo. The kick is good. Goes to Farah. On the move is Barlow. Beautiful kick goes to Barry. And for the first time in a little while, he grabs the ball really cleanly inside 50. A good mark. Needs to go back now in the corridor and kick the goal.
That was just class by Eddie Barlow there. Just quick from hand to foot, and he wasn't too worried about the ball drop. All he knew is he had to get it down there as quick as possible, threw the boot at it, boom, straight to Barry.
Such a good player, Ed Barlow. So important to this team. Dylan Barry, kick on the way. And that has gone straight through the middle for a goal. Dylan Barry, he kicks his second of the night. One in the second quarter, now one in the third. Good passage of play from the Crocs.
Yeah, and Tambling again, just coming out of the back half. Willie Farah, nice hit up there, quick movement. And we just had, look, just throws it on very quickly and just hit up Barry. And as you see, nice, easy left foot goal. Aaron Motlop just coming to the bench again, just going for a slight walk, not getting any treatment, so hopefully he's okay. Slightly proppy, but yeah.
Retired some years ago, didn't he? And keeps on coming back and coming back.
Well, they need him, as we heard from Thomas Motlop a little earlier. They're playing a lot of youngsters at the moment. So to have the experience of someone like him would be good. As Innes goes up against Garton, it's now trying to be cleared out of the middle, and it's not going to be cleared for Eagles. On the right boot for the Crocs. Going forward, Ed Barlow just watched it sail over his head. Will Farah overran it. And now Brenton Motlop is being wrapped up, and he's wrapped up by Jaden Clark. Eagles player down, and back player is McLean. He's helped to the ground. There's going to be a ball tossed up 25 metres out from the Crocodiles' goal post, going towards the airport end. Joel Jeffrey got up high, an up and under kick from Louis Tyrell, and that's going to be marked by Rory O'Brien for the Crocs. That was a bad up and under, Brenton, not able to clear it.
No, not the best effort there by Tyrell Louis. He was under a lot of pressure, I'll give him that, and you know, maybe could have cleared it wider, but I think he was just doing his best and didn't get great purchase on it, kind of off the side of his boot, and O'Brien just in the right place at the right time.
Similar kick we saw after a siren where he could have drawn again. This is going to be 35 metres out directly in front for his first goal of the evening. O'Brien in the flashy boots puts his fist up before it is even gone over the umpire's hat. And that's through for a major, his first for the night. And the Crocodiles 13th for the evening, or the 14th, sorry. So the Crocs 14-3-87, leading Wanderers 3-4-22, 8 minutes gone, third quarter.
Maybe Louis wasn't under as much pressure as I thought he was, but just another nice settler for the Crocs. That first 5 minutes, Wanderers started to have a little bit of momentum and the footy going their way. We've just seen Barry kick one and then O'Brien and another. So just what the doctored order, I would say, for the Southern District's Crocodiles.
9 minutes gone in this third quarter. 87 plays 22. The Crocs have kicked 3 in a row. Moving it out of the middle now, the Eagles. Simon Bates went without it. Toe poke forward. Cooper after it, but picked up there by Schofield. Inboard now to Smith. Away to Schofield again. This time, in fact, it's Smith. Previously, it was Jaden Clark. Smith now at centre-half back. Out wide. Back to the man who doesn't need to warm up at half-time. Lionel Ogden chips into the middle. Just misses Lake. Lake goes back in again. Up against Matthew Motlop. Lake comes out with it. Over the footy was Williams, loses it to Barlow. Barlow crashed into by Garton. Taken down there was Lake. Dylan McLaughlin, hard at it, kicks long. The leap of Will Farrer takes the mark. Well done, Will Farrer. Read it well and kept his eye on the footy.
He did read it well, but I'll challenge you on his eye on the footy, because I reckon he did a little bit of a blind turn. He identified where the ball was going to drop and just did a little bit of a loop around the back, turned his back, and then he got his eyes on it, came back. But super smart by Willie Farrer to identify the drop zone, know where it's going, and he got there right on time.
He's been attacking the footy well tonight, better than what he has been for the last few weeks. Good to see. Kick on goal now. Has he finished it off? Has he ever? 3 goals now for Will Farrer. The captain is on the board. 2 in the second and now 1 in this third quarter. Let's see, Brenton Toy.
We'll have a look at this. And here again, I'm loving seeing Lake up the ground. Eddie Barlow gets it out to Lake. Great pressure here from Bates to chase and tackle. Then a follow-up effort by Bates again to get to McLaughlin. We just see Willie Farrer. Then he turned back around. But he knew where it was going. Smart play. Jeffy Garland there, always lurking. Nice little WA connection there, the Farrer brothers and Jeffy Garland.
So Crocs 93, Wanderers 22, ball tossed up. Priest for Wanderers goes up without it. So did Innes. Now trying to clear it. He might have been taken high in Clark. And that's what the umpire saw as well. Thorne just with a hand over his shoulder as he brought him down in the middle of Marara Oval number 1. So out to the left, Jaden Clark. Drop mark that should have been taken in the end for the Crocodiles, but they're going to get it back. And they're still on the outer wing, right in the middle of the park. Ugly kick down towards Smith. He wasn't able to pick it up. Thomas Motlop does. He handballs to himself. He's being harassed. He kicks it to himself. He gets a third kick, and it's about 5 disposals in a row to himself. And that was extraordinary work from Thomas Motlop. And now the Crocodiles, though, are going to get out of their defensive 50. It looked like a little bit of an incorrect disposal there from Clark. He's slow to his feet. The ball's gone over the boundary. And we're going to take a breath and there's going to be a ball toss.
Great work there by Thomas Motlop, racking up the stats.
Fantastic.
If he can't get his teammates to kick it to him or handball it to him, he'll just do it himself.
He did it all. He had everything in that passage.
Boundary throw in now. No real contest for the footy. Bo O'Connell grabs it, gets it away to Sebastian Priest, who was in the ruck, has a bounce, handballs forward, not really to the advantage of his teammate. Probably needed just to put it on the boot and get it inside 50. Easy to say from here. And the ball out of bounds now for a boundary throw in. 55 around from the Eagles' goal. Sebastian Priest will have an opportunity to do it again here, up in ruck against Joshua Innes.
But even on that, you know, not hitting your toe, just kick it.
Just get it in long, right? Yep, to a dangerous spot.
Ruck contest now, the ball spills. Couldn't handle it there was Greg Hunt. Players have dived in on it. Greg Hunt laying the tackle. The umpire says holding the footy. Greg Hunt will take the free kick just outside 50. Can he spot up a target here? Goes long, bangs it in. Where are the Eagles runners? Here they come. Bates was through, couldn't get his hands on the footy. Unable to pick it up there was Garlett. In fact, it was Joel Jeffrey here. Number 19 on the back, bangs long. And Warwick Williams, that was the player originally I was thinking of, had the number 19 on the back. Joel Jeffrey's kicked down and found him. So he will have a crack here. Warwick Williams, he's been in the action a bit, been able to use the footy pretty well when he's had it. And now on a 45-degree angle, 25 from goal when he has the shot, aiming to put the 4th goal of the night through for the Eagles. Kicks on goal, and they make no mistake. Well done, Warwick Williams, deserved that goal and puts through their 2nd for the 3rd quarter. So the Crocodiles 15-3-93. Wanderers move on to 4-4-28 at the 14-minute mark of this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, just not cleared well enough there by the Crocs, and just smart play there by Jeffrey, just to play on quickly. Not the best purchase on the footy, but got it into a dangerous spot. That's what we were talking about. It was quick and to a dangerous spot. And again, Johnny on the spot took a nice easy mark and a great finish. And those goals are important just for confidence and just a little bit of momentum and giving the team something to play for.
So back in the middle, 15 minutes ticked over in the 3rd quarter. Ball tossed up to Gallo. The tall ruckman, though, just out-rucked by Priest in the end. Comes down to O'Connell, bursts out, puts it forward. He was looking for and couldn't find Braun. Braun gets a quick hurry kick in and a great mark defensively. Oh, chopped off now by the Eagles. Good pressure, still inside. Bates picks it up, left foot, and strolls in. Simon Bates picked up the crumbs after a great intercept for the Eagles in their forward line, and the Bates gets back-to-back goals. Now the Eagles, and that's more impressive. Wanderers 5-4-34, still trailing the Crocs 15-3-93.
Yeah, just a good pressure there by Deacon Braun. Bates again, nice and quick finish, but that'll be a concern for Shannon Rusker and the coaching staff. Not so much the goals, but the 2 clearances that just come out far too easy out of their midfield.
Ball back in the middle now. 15 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter. Crocs have been able to put on 4 goals, but the Eagles, they've put on 3 of their own. So really a very even 3rd quarter. Ruck contest won down there by Gallo. Eagles bring it forward. Schofield now for the Crocodiles from half back, just bombs away quickly up into forward 50. That is a terrific grab. What a grab there from Jaden Clark. Had the double grabber, but he held on just to the right of centre. No real angle to speak of here if he chooses to have a crack at the big sticks. So Jaden Clark approaches 50, crosses now, kicks from 49, got very close to the man on the mark. Up high was Barlow, but the ball had already crossed. 1 behind is the score. So Southern Districts 15-4-94, an even 10-goal lead here against Wanderers at the 16.5-minute mark.
Just having a look at the Crocs bench. Keegan Dingo's still there after, looks like a very heavy land, and he got his neck treated. Also, Duffy's getting some treatment for a right shoulder after he was dumped earlier in this quarter. So they're down a man as well. So they only actually have 3 on the interchange. So Southern Districts, yes, they could have a few problems with rotation, which will be interesting to keep an eye on. As Wanderers, Matthew Motlop just chips it forward to Joel Jeffrey in front of the Southern Districts interchange. We're on the commentary wing. Joel Jeffrey, very casual kick down to the big ruckman in Garton. Probably too casual if you don't mind. It's been turned over by the Crocs. Streaming through was Richard Tambley. He puts it inside the right forward pocket over the head of Will Farah. Brenton Motlop gets a handball across the face of goal to McLean. McLean goes out to the defensive half fullback area for the Eagles. Jaden Clark tried to chop it off. Now the Crocs, desperate on the ground, have turned it over, and it's going to come back inside, and just at the paint of 50, Ed Barlow has it. He tries to dribble a ball along the ground. Will Farrell fell over it, picked up the ball by the Eagles, and a comedy of errors there, and it's cleared by Brendan McLean, the captain for Wanderers, and they're going to get out of trouble with the ball being held up in the right defensive wing outer.
The ball now in the hands of Josiah Farah. Maybe can't pick it up. Coming through strongly is Bo O'Connell. He gets a handball off to Matthew Motlop. sought the handball back again, didn't get it. Matthew Motlop goes through half back, ball smothered now by Ed Barlow. Goes to Thorne to Bates, he can't pick it up. Through was Brodie Lake, got it away to Gallo. Barlow there as well. Bates had it momentarily. Now it goes to Bowden. Bowden just belts it away into forward 50. Taken now by Jaden Clark. Spins around into the clear. Goes to Will Farrer. Josiah Farrer not happy. He missed Will Farrer. Now it comes away to Joel Jeffrey. His little kick. Up to Richard Fijo. Was a very good kick. Richard Fijo just turns Schofield inside out. Goes by hand to Bo O'Connell along centre wing with the left boot. Up inside 50. Looking for Thomas Motlop. Went with the one hand. Didn't take it. Braun can't handle it. Coming through strongly. Werrong out wide. And there they are. The men sitting on the outer. Ed Barlow takes it. Chips into the midfield. And they'll start it all over again in the hands of Jaden Clark.
Jaden Clark goes handball inside to Ed Barlow, who kicks another grubber along the ground. This side time it didn't work. The Eagles now are trying to press the ball. Dre Thompson picks it up, got a handball away, though picked up by the Crocs. Now outside the middle square, up to forward 50, and Will Farrer on the lead takes a chest mark, who was being trailed by Brenton Motlop, who's going to have to walk 10 metres back to the mark. And Will Farrer has put the ball down on the paint of 50. Slight angle to the right. He's going to have to kick this about 45 metres out. Just ball tossed once, twice. Inside the 50 now. Starts his approach with a stutter. Big up and under. And it's lucky to have the distance in the end. Didn't kick through it at all. And they're just going to pick up a point. 95 Crocs, Wanderers 34. We're time on in the third.
Just no momentum from Willie Farrer. He just walked into that kick and, and swung his leg through. And, he's kicked a few tonight, but his goal kicking hasn't been on this year. Maybe it's a confidence thing, not sure.
Ed Barlow now bringing the ball back inside. Will Farrer, in fact, it was Jeff Garlett underneath the footy. Will Farrer attacked it hard at the back of the pack. Tried to push it towards Garlett. Now the Eagles, Joel Jeffrey in defence. Wheels around one way, then the other. Goes by hand to a teammate. They can't pick it up cleanly. Another handball coming back to Joel Jeffrey here. Just pops it on the boot. Up through half back now. Bounces over the head of Innes and Garton. Comes to O'Brien. Now goes to Werrong. Goes back by hand to Bowden. Right in the middle of the ground. Brings it out to where there's a bit of space. And goes to and finds Jaden Clark. He's been good tonight. Goes with the little chip. And finds Lionel Ogden. Right forward pocket. He's 45 from goal. The man on the mark just being asked to come back a step, perhaps. He is. Don't know whether he took the step back, but Lionel Ogden now wasting no time at all. Veers off to the right. His kick veers to the left. Wrestle. No one can take the grab. And Terrell Louis just runs it straight over the boundary line and gains a boundary throw in for his team. Left forward pocket. 21 and a half minutes gone here in the third quarter. 95 plays, 34, the Crocodiles in the lead.
The 3 goals to Will Farrer. He now has 35 for the season. Trent Melville going into this round as 36. Just can't work out how many he kicked today in their win by 15 points for the Nightcliff Tigers. We're inside the forward 50. Duffy with a shot on goal after a handball from Josiah Josiah Farrer just came off the handball to Duffy, and out of nothing, the Crocs have kicked their 16th goal of the evening, and the Crocs extend their lead 16-5, 101 to Wanderers 5-4, 34.
And I reckon there would have been about 15 players that made their way to Matt Duffy, the milestone man. Got a goal in his 100th game, and certainly the district's players getting around him. Great family, not just him and his brother. His mum's always been around the club, dad's been around the club. His mum Annette's always been sports training and worked for the academy, so great to see Duff get rewarded with his 100 games and make it there and get a goal tonight in what looks like it's going to be a nice, easy win for the Crocs.
Yeah, been a loyal and great player for the Southern Districts Crocodiles, and yep, let's hope they can finish it off here. Coming through strongly now, McLaughlin again. Good contest between he and O'Connell. O'Connell hot on his hammer. McLaughlin putting in a shepherd there, trying to clear some space for Schofield. O'Connell still coming in, brought Schofield to ground. O'Connell gets in at the footy again. Shane Thorne's there, gets the ball away by hand and goes to Fijo. And now a free kick to be paid for a high tackle. So Wanderers win that contest. Well done to Bo O'Connell, who really threw himself into that. And Shane Thorne, the recipient of the free, goes backwards slightly to find the clear man in Aaron Motlop. Unusual to see him in number 8. He goes to Keenan Smith-Thompson. He goes further forward now to Warwick Williams. The man with the number 29 on the backs kicked a goal in this quarter. Spears a pass into attacking 50, and it's just cut off immediately by Southern Districts. Little chip out is poor. It will find Schofield, who's met heavily by Shane Thorne. Thorne couldn't quite hang on to the ball cleanly, slaps it forward over the footy. There is Howard for the Eagles. They get it out. Keenan Smith-Thompson couldn't get hold of it. Dylan Barry does. Charged through. Got hold of the footy. Released it to Ogden. Ogden now looking for Will Farah. Goes high. Went too early. Taken to ground by Motlop. Jaden Watts over the footy. Being pressured here by Braden McLean. Kept the footy in front of him initially. Goes to Brenton Motlop. He takes it. O'Brien in there. So too Watts again. Brings Matthew Motlop down. Didn't think he had the footy. Tossed off the ball by Brenton Motlop. Rory O'Brien comes in. And the umpire says, I will take it. 51 metres out from the Southern District's goal. And they'll ball it up and have a crack again. 101 plays 34, 24 and a half gone in this third quarter.
McLaughlin for the Crocs limping off. Looks like a right knee that is a bit of an issue. Keep an eye on that. Duffy, the man that kicked the last goal in his 100th game for the Crocs, handballs it forward. And it's going to be a free kick going towards Barlow. They're saying a throw, but didn't he throw it up to himself?
That's the second one I've seen today that's been called a throw, that the players actually caught it themselves, and we've paid throws.
So the Eagles now get out of trouble through Matthew Motlop. They just chip it down the commentary wing. Hunt has it. He gets a booming long kick off his left, and it's going to go to Ed Barlow. Dropped over the head of Joel Jeffrey. He let Hunt know that he wasn't too impressed with the kick either. So Ed Barlow, little stab kick, and that's going to be cut off by Matthew Motlop. Dre Thompson's going to pick it up. Josiah Farah's chasing him, and he's going to wrap him up, ball and all. Great persistence from Josiah Farah. Dre Thompson had no clue he was coming from behind. And the siren sounds as it falls into the lap of Ed Barlow. He's got to torpedo it, but he's way too far from home, and that's going to dribble through for a point.
The siren went before that. Yeah.
So in the end, the siren has gone for three-quarter time. Southern District 16-5, 101, leading Wanderers 5-4-34.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal. To ensure you're ready, visit powerwater.com.au/safety or text SAFETY to 0428 323 991 for more information. Because staying safe and ready around Mother Nature should be second nature.
CFS Schoolwear is the perfect choice for quality custom-made school uniforms. Ideal clothing for all school-related activities, whether it's 50 or 500 students, we have what you need. Contact the Cricket and Football Shop NT for your free CFS Schoolwear quote today.
Let's see. Roma, Verona?
Perhaps Barcelona.
Make your dream holiday a reality. Book your next getaway at Flight Centre with interest-free holidays and flexible repayment options.
Best in the air.
And everywhere.
Flight Centre. Intersport, new concept store now open in Casuarina Square. Come in and check out a world-class shopping experience.
Dedicated sports zones.
Now stocking only the biggest brands in tennis, cricket, fitness from treadmills to benches, boxing, swimming, darts, pool and table tennis. For awesome service and advice,
come in and see it.
Still locally owned and operated, the all-new Intersport concept store.
Now open at Casuarina Square.
Boys, we've got a real big problem. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to everybody. I'm talking about family violence. It's time we said no more to family violence, isn't it? Yeah. Think about it.
We've all got to say no more to family violence.
No more!
Family violence is a community problem and it needs a community response from all of us, and sport is a big part of that. But we can all do our bit by being more respectful to each other. Please make this year the year we say no more to family violence.
We're here for when the heavens open and the winds howl. We're here for when the water just won't stop. We're here for the wet and we're here for the dry. We're here because we know there's nowhere else you'd rather be.
And there's nowhere else we'd rather be either. TIO Home Insurance. We're for Territorians.
That third term out on the field. So Shannon Motlop, very, very animated in giving his young troops their final instructions. They trail by 67 points. And for Shannon Rusker, he's still out there too, just as passionate, because as we've heard and we've seen throughout the season, they will want to finish off strong. The Crocs last week against the Nightcliff side, they didn't even manage a point.
Yes, final quarter fade-outs, definitely a concern, but more importantly, I think Shannon Rusker will be looking to just get a good, solid win, just settle the team. They've had a sort of up and down, last kind of month. Get a good win tonight, but yeah, certainly finals footy, you don't want to be, taking the foot off the pedal late, and I think that'll be a focus today for Shannon Rusker to make sure that his troops really finish off this game and I think it's important. Try not to let Wanderers score and try and lock down a little bit and defend because we know that they've attacked all day and they can do that. But I reckon they'll just have to. There'll be a bit of a focus on making sure the opposition don't get much uncontested footy. They defend as much as they can and take their opportunities when it goes forward.
Just having a look. So for the Crocs, Smith's out there. Can we see Holman? Can you see a jumper 18 out there? I don't think I can. So that might be the player that is missing now.
Yep.
As we see only 3 Crocs come to the interchange bench. So we'll keep an eye across that in this final term. They are down to 3. At least there are 3 fit players because Duffy did get his right shoulder checked out. Keegan Dingo was off for some time with a neck injury. And McLaughlin is in front of us too on the interchange with a very heavily strapped right knee. He picked up an injury in that third term. So that's another concern as well when you're looking at stocks and trying to be healthy running into that. They do play the Crocodiles their final 2 games. No disrespect to the teams, but it's where they sit on the ladder. They play Palmerston on the bottom of the ladder next week, and then they play Waratah. Mathematically, they're going to be in. It'll be interesting to see what they field. Final term underway with Dominic McCormack.
Ball out of the middle. Southern District's whipping this away. Nice little handball comes out to Ogden. His kick up into forward 50. Motlop was underneath at Brenton. The ball falls after being punched away by Will Farrer to Braden McLean. And he puts a beautiful kick onto the chest there of Keenan Smith-Thompson. What can he do with it? He pops it up looking for Matthew Motlop. Takes that on the charge and centre wing. Just under the scoreboard. Drills in a pass, looking there for Shane Thorne, who was clearly held onto and will take the free kick. So well done, Shane Thorne. He's put himself in some good positions, hasn't he, Brenton?
Yeah, he has. Like I said, he injected himself into that midfield in that third quarter, and, you know, he's injected a bit of spirit into the side.
Nice kick from him too. Goes to and finds Joel Jeffrey. Has one goal to his name this evening. That was kicked in the first quarter. And looks like he's signalling now to go for goal. I'm looking for him to pass off now as soon as he's done that. And here it comes. Little chip. And he finds a teammate. And again, Keenan Smith-Thompson worked his way down the field.
Not sure it's a better angle.
No.
Just a little bit closer, I think, is about all.
Yeah.
About a metre in from the boundary.
He's given him the challenge.
Yeah, I think he might have been on his range there, Jeffries, and the alternative was to kick it long and be outnumbered by all of the district's tall sitting there. So
Keenan Smith-Thompson whips around here, just pops it up and says, here, have a crack at this. Warwick Williams does. It spills here for Simon Bates. He overruns the footy. Werong there on all fours. He's charged into the back of, gets the footy out. Comes here to Warwick Williams, darts around, gets some space, snaps on goal. That's a wonderful goal from Warwick Williams. He's toiled away this evening, pops that on the right boot. Well done, Wanderers.
that's his second one there, Warwick Williams there, and just good work. And he might not be the tallest fella, but he is a big fella, so just pretty nimble there, but great work. And we just have a look at the contest come in there. There's Bates, you know, stalwart of the club. Just, you know, ball popping around, and I think it, you know, pops out there. And there's a look, Warren. Warwick Williams, break one tackle. There's Barlow, not an easy bloke to get around. But for a big fella to bring that ball back around on that angle, great effort there by the Eagles.
So the Wanderers side, 40 points. They've got that margin back to 61. Priest for the Eagles in the middle up against Gallo. The height of Gallo just drops it down into the lap of Clark. He went without it. Still dribbling along the ground. Dre Thompson over Watts. And he's going to get called for holding Watts, who was trying to chase after the ball. Watts just kicks it forward. That's going to go over the head of Barry. Up to the 50-metre mark, but it's now defensive 50s. And Joel Jeffrey is doing a mountain of work at the start of this. He's in the defensive 50 for the Eagles. Just chips a ball forward to Fijo. Fijo gives it off to Cooper, who just come on for the Eagles. And he is in front of the interchange area for the Eagles on the commentary wing. Left foot booming kick down. And a great mark, though, for the Crocodile Smith. He outmarked his player, wants to play on quickly, gave it off to Brodie Lake, got it on the one bounce, long handball down to Keegan Dingo. Great vision from Brodie Lake. Keegan Dingo finds up Barry, dropped the mark he should have taken at centre half forward. And now the Eagles rebound after a quick handball, thumping, kicking down to the right forward pocket. Thomas Motlop trying to pick up the ball. Handball, no look behind him. And it's going to dribble over the line. And for the Crocs, it was Werong who was able to get it out. And Shane Thorne picks up the ball. And it's going to be tossed in 50 metres around from the right post for the Crocodiles.
Some tired bodies there, but the ball ended up down in Wanderers forward line. That risky kick coming in board, it's high risk, high reward. But the Crocs turned it over and the Wanderers Eagles took advantage.
Ruck contest there. Tambling tapped it away only as far as Dre Thompson. The high up and under from Thompson. Goes over the head there of Warwick Williams, who was in the gun for his third. And Daniel Werong just tracking it across the boundary there. So a boundary throw in, left forward pocket favouring the Eagles. Interesting to see the Eagles doing a lot of the attacking here, Brenton.
Yeah, I was just looking at the score. This hasn't turned out as bad as what I thought it was going to be. You know, a 6-goal to 2 opening quarter, and I would have thought that there's still plenty of time for the Crocs to kick their 20, but I would have thought that they would have scored in excess of 20 goals tonight, Southern Districts.
Bringing it out now, Southern Districts. Jaden Watts, ball to boot, up towards centre wing. Bounced kindly there for Braden McLean. His nice little handball to Ashley Lanson, wrapped up in a good tackle there from Garland, I think it may have been, out on that far wing, just to the left of the scoreboard. So a boundary throw-in to take place there. And the Ruckman nominating 40 players, 101. Crocodiles well and truly in the lead. What can Wanderers do in this last quarter?
Priest for the Eagles. Gallo for Southern Districts. Ball tossed back in. Gallo gets front position. Ball drops down. Quick kick off the ground from Aaron Motlop for the Eagles, but there is going to be a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Gallo. So he was in fringe as that ball was tossed in. O'Brien got the handball off. He kicks it down the line, trying to look for Watts, not able to pick it up. So now it's the Eagles that have turned it over. Wayward handball, though, still in the middle of the park. No real advantage. Picked up by Braun for the Eagles. He puts it inside the forward 50, looking for Williams, and he is going to get paid the mark. Williams with the outstretched arm, and he is going to have a shot on goal, 45 metres out. Slight angle to the left. Has he got the distance?
Can I just say it was the same kick again, coming back in board to centre half forward, turned over, high risk, high reward. Wanderers won it back, and now they're having another set shot on goal. So that's twice that the Crocs have turned it over.
Wirrung stands on the mark. Williams drops it from 45 metres. It was straight, but it was straight to the left of the post. So Eagles 6-6-42. Trailing the Crocs 16-5, 101. 6 minutes gone, final term.
Michael Bowden bringing the ball back into play. Went straight to Sebastian Priest, who couldn't mark it. It's come off hands now and gone to Josiah Farah. His kick straight up centre wing. And good pressure coming there from Kevin Thompson for the Eagles. Up against his opponent there in Jaden Clark. Out of bounds for another boundary throw in. Ed Barlow leaves the ground, replaced by Lionel Ogden.
Of course, a couple of players not out there tonight. Brandon Rusker for Southern Districts Crocs, and Charlie McAdam, I think, is very important to their structure, not there tonight. So still a little bit to come back for Southern Districts.
Ruck contest. Sebastian Priest couldn't get a clear takeaway, and the ball just hacked out of the air. Josh Ennis got it up towards attacking 50. Terrell Louis with ball in hand releases a dangerous handball to his teammate there in Kevin Thompson. Wrapped up in a tackle, ball spills. Louis goes back in again. Just drives it out wide and says, Simon Bates, here, go and chase this. Michael Bowden and he are on the charge. Bowden moves him away from the footy. Picked up by Matthew Motlop. Just feigned the handball, which created a little bit of space beautifully. Goes here to a teammate in Howard. He has some time and some space. The target is Warwick Williams. Creates a contest. He's got 2-on-1. He gets the footy close to the boundary line, ducks away, gets a handball away here to a teammate in Greg Hunt. He's under pressure with the ball on the ground. Taken away now by Smith. Gets the handball to Wirrung, who did beautifully. Nice kick from him, finds Schofield, and he has a little bit of time to settle.
Schofield comes into the middle, finds an unmarked Watts at the defensive 50. They're out now on the wing. Mountain of space here for Ogden. He decides not to run with the ball. Joel Jeffrey came at him, so he just puts it up to centre half forward. Garlett was on the lead. Too many players in front of him. Fijo now weaves through traffic for the Eagles side. Picked up by Joel Jeffrey. Too casual. He dropped a ball after great pressure from Ogden. So good was Ogden that he has got the ball back from O'Connell. He's kicked it off the ground. They're going to say deliberate. Now that was pretty tough after he disposed
I was watching the umpire, and he, as soon as that ball had left Ogden's foot, the whistle went straight to his mouth. He knew where it was going, and he knew the decision he was going to pay.
He hassled two players, got it off him, kicked it off the ground, and there was no way that he was looking for the boundary then. But anyway.
Absolutely deliberate. The umpire got it right. On the burst here, Michael Cooper. Third bounce, 35 metres from goal. Finish it off, Michael Cooper. And he does. Goal of the night to Michael Cooper. What a run.
That's the Michael Cooper I know. Very pleasing for me to see him get on the end of it, take the game on, have a few bounces. He's silky on the outside, so it's a good result there. Bates involved again, but we have a look. Cooper here, he just puts a bit of space between him and his opponent. 1, 2 bounces, crosses the 50, 3 bounces. There's Bowden, another one, and a great, nice, classy finish there by the left footer, Coops. Very good. Great to see him get a goal. And look, this is, they're not going to come back and win, but if we would have said, at the end of, the first quarter that, it'll only be 9 goals in it or whatever, then probably would have taken that.
Well, they've kicked the first 2 goals of this final term. Crocs unable to score just yet. So now they've won it out of the middle again, the Crocs, but it's kicked off the ground and gone to Bowden. Bowden kicks it out to the outer wing. Barlow is chasing it. He handballs it forward to Schofield. Schofield puts it into the right forward pocket. Mark dropped by Captain Will Farah in the right forward pocket. Picked up, though, by Garlett. He has to backtrack, goes all the way to McLean. McLean has 2 Eagles players around him and he's dispossessed, and it's the Eagles in the middle of the park trying to get through traffic, and they do. And now the Eagles are away. They have numbers inside the forward 50. Braun with a great chest mark. And Braun was unmarked. Keegan Dingo couldn't get to him in time. Braun gets up quickly, plays onto the left forward pocket. Oh, and he thought about playing on, but that was a great piece of vision there from Braun to find Bates. And Bates now for the Eagles will look to get 3 quick goals in this final term.
Yeah, I think Shane Thorne, this is probably where it should have gone in the first place. Bates was standing, unattended, 35 out, but it went to Braun, made its way to Bates.
So Bates on 30, slight 35-degree angle, and as soon as he kicked it, his head just went back in anger, and he knew that he didn't have the accuracy. So Wanderers 48 leading Crocs 101.
Daniel Werung tried to spot up Barlow. He missed the mark. Barlow went back in and got the footy. Gets it off to Lake. Lake steps one way, then the other. Got a handball back to Barlow. Now he has to kick in haste. The high up and under. Looking down there for Innes. Can't take the mark. Sebastian Priest, was that a handball or was that a throw? That's a throw, said the umpire.
Yeah, he's paid the throw. I think he tried to take the tackler on and it came out.
Keegan Dingo, the recipient of the free kick, goes to Watts. Good pace, good sharing of the footy. Got it away to Dylan McLaughlin. Quick kick down the field here to Duffy. Duffy back to McLaughlin. Wanderers hunting in numbers here. Overrunning the footy was Garlett. Shouldn't be happening for a player of his level. Now Wanderers, anything goes, and there's a free kick down the field for a hold. Interesting, Brenton, while we're watching this ball come back, fitness telling here for Southern Districts, slowing down, and as you talked about earlier, Wanderers have definitely got the quicker team, and it is now really showing.
Yeah, that speed to get the footy on the outside. The Eagles are really starting to make the Crocodiles work for their possessions, and it's not going all their way. So absolutely, this would be a little bit of a concern given that the Crocs didn't kick a point or kick a goal in the last quarter last week. Certainly something that the Wanderers, I think, can take out of it. Lots of positives in this last quarter, and a little bit to think about for the Crocs.
As we just see Josiah Farah, he's been hurt. He's actually, there was a fair bump as the ball went out, but he's actually hit a real rough patch on the ground. So he's up holding his left shoulder. And we'll go back to the play because Farah is running back into play, but that is going to hurt for some time. Now there's a little bit of feeling in this between Thorne and Keegan Dingo. I was even thinking just how well this has been played in terms of the spirit, but it's a bit of push and shove.
Those two are not the two that need to be getting into trouble, given their rap sheet so far. Those two need to move right away.
So free kick to Brodie Lake. He's been told to play on, gets a handball to Keegan Dingo, huge up and under, and it's going to be picked off by Eagles. Now Braun spoils Schofield, who was sitting under it. Bates kicks it off the ground inside the forward 50, and it just goes over the head of Williams. And Werung for the Crocs will get them out of trouble outside the defensive 50, and it is going to be the Crocs who are on the outer side. They've got the numbers. Thumping kick falls into the lap of O'Brien. He finds McLaughlin unmarked. McLaughlin 40 metres out. And it is going to go through for a behind. No, it's not. It hasn't gone through. Garlett tried to snap around the body. And now in the back left pocket, the Eagles are going to get out of trouble.
Nice little kick comes out to Bo O'Connell. He gets on his bike. Good shepherd from Matthew Motlop. And O'Connell, good pass, finds the chest of Thomas. Motlop didn't take the mark, but was able to get back onto the footy with a second effort. Pops it up again to the target of this last quarter, Warwick Williams. Werung did magnificently well, brought the ball to ground, socketed away. It comes to Howard. He pops it up to Cooper. Takes the mark, 60 from goal. Little chip goes to Bates. Finds him 48 metres from goal, just runs away from O'Brien, has the kick on goal. Does it do enough? It does. Simon Bates, he kicks his second goal for the evening, and unbelievably, Wanderers, they have kicked 3 goals to 0 in this last quarter. 14 minutes gone in this last quarter.
Great work by the Eagles there. Michael Cooper involved again. Probably a little bit more hang time on the kick than I would have liked, but very clever by Bates there just to get up and play on, get himself within range and put it through and bring some respectability into this, and lots of positives to take out for the Eagles in this last quarter.
So they have just got a half ton, 54 points, but it's the Crocs who are stuck on 101 at the moment. 16 minutes gone in the final term, and they have not added to their three-quarter score as the umpires just put the ball down on the ground and given a warning to the Eagles for too many players inside. Was it the forward 50?
Ronald Fija, I think, was still making his way back there. So there's your put the ball down, form a warning, don't do it again.
That's the first one, and now there'll be free kicks from play on. The ball comes out of the middle for the Eagles through O'Connell. He finds Fijo. Fijo doesn't let him down. He wants to play on quickly as well. He can't find anyone coming forward. Smith closes in on him for the Crocs. He dribbles a kick forward. Picked up well there by Matthew Motlop. He whirls around, goes into the right forward pocket. Joel Jeffrey dropped a ball he should have taken from a handball. It is slippery out there in terms of the ball, and he just fends off Smith, if you don't like. Gets a hurried kick up to the top of the square, and it falls into the lap of O'Brien, and O'Brien for the Crocs will get them out of trouble.
Oh, good mark there by Rory O'Brien. Kicks up the field to Josiah Farah. He then drops it. Goes now by hand back to Schofield. Schofield pops up the up and under. Gives Michael Barlow a little bit of heart failure there for a moment. Manages to take it on the second grab. Goes to Schofield. Called to play on. Wasn't 15 apparently. Goes to Rory O'Brien. She's been consistent tonight, Rory O'Brien. Man with the orange boots. Comes out wide here and goes to Lake. Been far more in the action in the second half, Lake. His kick, a good one. Gives Dylan Barry a little bit of work to do, but he gathers the footy, drills it inside forward 50. Kick wasn't great. Dre Thompson picks it up and then bursts away with speed. Now goes to Cooper. Speaking of speed, goes with the left foot. Only took one bounce on this occasion. Gives the ball off to Thomas Motlop. Wanderers just lining up here. Players in space. Ball spills. No mark taken there by Smith. Falls to Bo O'Connell. Goes the chip with the left boot. Matthew Motlop can't handle the footy. Into the middle. Michael Barlow, he can't handle cleanly. Patrick Gallo just pushes it forward. Handball comes up to Tambling. Little up and under to Lionel Ogden, but there's a free kick back in the middle, and it will come back here to Rory O'Brien against Robert Howard.
Been good tonight, O'Brien.
Sure has.
He chips it short to Schofield, and Schofield goes long, trying to find the lead of Jeff Garlett, and he honours... Oh, no, that's actually Farah, sorry. Will Farah, right on the outer. Marks it on the paint of 50, about 5 metres out from the right pocket. He just drops it in. No one really attacking the ball for the Crocs, so it's the Eagles that are going to mop it up, and they're just going to get out of trouble all the way down into the middle of the park. Bates was trying to pick it up through desperation, patted it forward, but the Crocs pick it up, and they're going to steady through Ogden, who on the paint of 50, slight angle to the left. Eagles have all flooded back. He goes to the right forward pocket. Now it's the Eagles again through numbers. Great passages of handball. So Dre Thompson, was lucky not to be caught for going too far. He just booms a long kick down the middle of Marara Oval, if you don't mind. Ball falls into the lap of Braun. He doesn't want to take on Keegan Dingo, but he does. He comes back inside and has a shot on goal, and that has gone to the left, and he should have probably handballed that off.
Yeah, had Bates running on the inside there, probably caught in two minds, Deacon Braun.
Ball now coming away with Werrong. Has a bounce. Deliberate kick up towards Lake. He set him a task there. Difficult one. Off the legs. It comes back to Werrong. Gets it away by hand. Keenan Smith-Thompson paddles the ball away and out of bounds. Socket into the fence there by Bo O'Connell. I've seen that given as a free kick before. Yep. Not on this occasion. Will be a boundary throw-in. 19.5 minutes gone in this last quarter. 101 plays 55. Which sounds like a handy lead, but Southern District's stagnant, have not scored a point in this last quarter.
So stagnant that Eddie Barlow has just taken a seat on the interchange there. He's there waiting to go on, but he's sitting down.
No one there. Bo O'Connell wins the ball away from the ruck contest up towards Warwick Williams. He just can't grab hold of it, Williams. Rory O'Brien grabbed it up cleanly, got the handball away to Schofield, up to Barlow, took his eyes off it momentarily and lost the footy, recovered well, off to Schofield, screaming through centre wing. Will Farah again, just under the footy, not really jumping at it. The Eagles' defence now go to work, dragging it in, are they? They have momentarily. The ball out, Terrell Louis did well, got it away to Dre Thompson, runs away from an opponent, loses the footy, paddles, soccers again, gets it away here to Thomas Motlop, cleaned it up straight away, kicked to Sebastian Priest in the middle of the ground, handballs to Joel Jeffrey, goes with the torpedo, long kick, let it go, and he didn't. Warwick Williams touched the footy and it goes through for a point. It was guaranteed to be a goal.
Yeah, I think he might have had Deacon Braun on again short, but at this stage of the game, he took it upon himself and had to go with the big torp. Unlucky. Got to get the second ball off the ground.
I think they tried to, but
Came
just
back.
didn't quite come off. So Werrong just being held up here, he wants to play on.
I was going to say earlier too, like he's been a bit of an unsung hero for me tonight, Werrong down back. Like nothing flash about him, but he's chopped off everything that's come. He's run, he's attacked the line of the footy. Super effort.
He has a huge kick in, but it only goes as far as Dre Thompson. He gets it off to Cooper. Left forward pocket, hugging the boundary at the back, went for a big mark, was Fijo, went without it, falls in the lap of Williams. He dances around, kicks it like he was a defensive player trying to clear it, but it's going to work out for Wanderers because there is going to be a ball tossed in about 3 metres from the left post. But what was Williams thinking? That went 40 metres away from where he was intending it to.
Someone tell me, were we right? Southern Districts haven't kicked a goal this quarter?
They
Haven't kicked a point.
Nothing.
They have not scored.
Wow,
16-5, 101 at
great effort
quarter time.
by the Eagles then.
Boundary throw in now. Ball clears the pack, spills around. Little kick attempted there by Fijo. Ball bouncing around. O'Brien after Shane Thorne goes straight for O'Brien. Fortunately, perhaps missed him. Ball comes out to Braden McLean, pops it up, looks for Cooper, can't find him, goes to Bates. Bates has time, has a little bit of space, goes for goal, kicks the goal. Simon Bates, well done. 3 goals for the game, and they kick their 4th goal for the quarter. Southern Districts, no score.
What an effort by the Eagles there. And I think, that, again, that's something you can take away. If you can say, look, we won the last quarter against, you know, a top 5 team, that's something they can take away. And but certainly for the Crocodiles, some worrying signs. If they didn't kick a goal last week in the last quarter and they haven't kicked one this week here, no doubt it'll be something that they'll be thinking about during the week coming into finals.
And not just no goals, Brenton, but not a score.
Either last week or this week so far. Eagles have kicked 4 goals, 4. Crocs yet to register a single point in this final term. And we are time on. And what can Wanderers do? Still here. Priest wins it easily. Tap down. He tried to pick it up as well. Not cleared out the middle. And there goes the siren to end the match. And Southern Districts have won the match, but they have not won that final term. The Crocs 16-5, 101 have defeated Wanderers 9-8, 62. And Brenton, their theme song might ring out at the moment, but that will be some worrying sign for Shannon Rusker. That's 2 games in a row where they have not picked up a single point in the final term.
Yep, very impressive first quarter by the Crocs, and I thought they were going to blow the Eagles out of the water, but to the Eagles' credit, they fought their way back, and you know, perhaps not enough to get, you know, be competitive, but yeah, absolutely. You know, the first quarter, I thought Dylan McLaughlin was good. I thought the second quarter, Jaden Watts was okay. O'Brien was outstanding all day, but their back 6 were really stood up to task. Brody Lake was good. For the Eagles, I think Joel Jeffries, you know, like he gave him a bit of spark and in the first quarter, and then in the last quarter there, he ended up pushing himself up the ground to go and get a few more kicks. But you know, a few good signs there for the Eagles to come back against a quality opposition with a very young side. I think they fought it out very well. You know, and you know, with a few guys that might have come into the game underdone as well. But great effort there by the Eagles. You know, it's a win, and you know, when you're in the coaching business, any win's a good win.
You are one of almost 140,000 people living in an area at risk of being affected by a cyclone this wet season. In your cyclone kit, you will need a battery-operated radio and torch with spare batteries, enough food and at least 10 litres of water per person to sustain you and your family for 72 hours or more. Remember, all important documentation such as passports, photos and insurance policies should be kept in a safe and waterproof place. Be prepared this wet season. Brought to you by TIO.
So we can feel wherever you feel together, be real together. No one can stop. No one can stop. Nothing can ever bring me down.
Mother Nature can be frighteningly predictable in the Territory this time of year. Heavy rains and damaging winds can cause significant problems and disruption, particularly if you're unprepared, while downed power lines and flash flooding can be lethal.